Okay, just here like we'll summarize what we have discussed here in the previous class very fastly. Just we'll see the summary. Okay, right. Previously we have seen as a SQL Server DBA, our job is what? Maintenance. Maintenance. Okay, so that's remember like our job is as a SQL Server DBA, our job is database and database server maintenance is our jobs here. Okay, we are maintenance people actually. Okay, so database and database maintenance is our job as a DBA. Okay, yeah, that means what? There should be no performance related issues, there should be no connectivity related issues. Okay, so all these things we have to handle, we have to take care of actually as a DBA. So our various activities are there, DBA activities. Check here installing and configuring SQL Server. Means what? Like installations are not regular activities, but generally whenever a new application, whenever our client is asking that they wants to start one new application, for example. Okay, so in the same way, if you are migrating from old version to new version, for example, okay, so in that case, remember, like we are going with this option, we have to go with what? SQL Server installations. Okay, we'll see that in detail. Then working with the databases means what? Like all the databases must be online. Okay, all the databases must be online available to the users. Okay, so like verifying the space related issues, like generally said, disk space related issues we have to handle regularly. Okay, maybe like data file is growing very fastly, the disk is going to full. Okay, transaction log file is growing fastly. Okay, so like those things are like disk space related things we have to we have to take care of here regularly. Means what? In which drive like backups are there, sometimes that backup drive may become full. Okay, sometimes like yeah, data file where the database files are there. Okay, so that yeah, database files yeah, that space, disk space related issues may be there. Means we have to clear, we have to handle. Already have discussed it like in real time. In real time, remember, like we'll configure the alerts. Okay, so we have different tools are there with us. By using different tools here, we'll configure the disk space related alerts. Okay, so whenever any disk space related issue is there, so automatically we'll get the email notification. Okay, so whenever any space related issue is there, we'll get automatically share email notifications. Then we have to yeah, we have to go with the we have to connect to the server, we have to see what is the exact reason why the space related issue is there, then we have to handle that. Is see, generally here in real time we are using different tools, but yes, calm one tool will use here very frequently. Okay, system center operation manager. Okay, so here like yeah, disk space related, memory related, CPU related. Okay, so all these alerts will get here automatically. Okay, if any Windows server is not working, those alerts will get automatically, will get email notifications we have to handle. The same way like implementing security for our databases. is our job. Okay, scheduling backups, right? Backups we have to schedule actually. So why? Because like in our client, with our client we have 600 servers are there, for example. Okay, so means what? Some production, some development, some staging, like this here, 600 servers. Yeah, see, we can't connect to every server daily. We can't take backup, right? Manually, we can't do all the activities. Why? Because hundreds of databases are there. 2000, 3000 databases are there. We can't do manually, right? That's why what we'll do, we'll schedule the activities here. We need to schedule. We'll see that how to schedule. Suppose, let's say yesterday night backup fail. Yesterday night backup fail. Then we have to troubleshoot that problem. Okay, automatically we'll get what? Email notification. So we need to troubleshoot the problem. Okay, right. The same way here, like handling performance related issues, means performance tuning. Okay, in the same way, implementing and managing high availability features. Okay, generally remember, like high availability features are there, which allows to maintain standby servers. Okay, this high availability features allows to maintain what? Standby servers. Okay, so why standby server is required? Why? Because tomorrow if production server is down, right? Production server is down unexpectedly, so we have to make the database available to the users, right? That's why we'll maintain here like standby servers. We have to maintain what? Standby servers compulsory. Those standby servers, remember, will maintain by using some high availability features. High availability features here. Okay, standby servers we are maintaining with the help of what? High availability features. That's remember, like standby servers are compulsory for us. One second. In most of the environment, remember, standby servers are compulsory for us. Okay, standby servers are compulsory. Why we understood, right? Why? Because tomorrow production server is down unexpectedly, immediately said business loss scenario is there. Yeah, voice is clear. If anything is there, please type in the chat panel. Voice is clear. Any problem is there? Sanjeev, Santosh, Karthik, Venu, voice is clear. Please use chat panel if any problem is there, any issues are there. Okay, Santosh, thank you very much. Yeah, anything is there, please type immediately. Thank you, Karthik. Okay, if some, yeah, if anything is it like, okay, thank you very much. So that's why if any problem is there, just immediately we have to ping in the chat panel. Okay, so already have said recently we shifted the house actually, so maybe still the internet is not yeah, stable. So no problem, just if any problem is there, just yeah, immediately ping in the chat panel. Okay. Right. Okay. Check here, like to implement high availability. High availability features are there to maintain what? Standby servers. Okay. So to minimize downtime, to minimize downtime, even like tomorrow if production server is down unexpectedly, no problem. No problem. we can continue with the standby server. Immediately, we can make the standby server as a production server. So immediately the users can continue their work. The business will continue their work. Okay. Yeah, performance tuning also we'll discuss. Okay. In detail, like indexes, like index maintenance, statistics. Okay, blocking, deadlocks, SQL Server architecture. Okay, so table partitioning, all those things we'll see. Please go through the content. Okay, if any doubts are there, Sureka, uh, check the content up to what extent we are covering. Okay, right. Check here, like SQL Server supports here different levels of high availability feature. We have database level high availability features are there here in SQL Server, like log shipping, okay, DB mirroring, database mirroring, always on. Okay, these features, remember, these features allows to maintain database to database copy as it is database copy. Okay, why? Because tomorrow even the production server is down, primary server is down. See here, this is my primary server, this is my standby server. Okay, so applications are connected to this primary server. Whatever the changes are made in this database copy, same changes, remember, we are maintaining here in the standby server. Same changes. Okay, so by using here these features, we are maintaining what? As it is copy of database. Okay, database to database copy we are maintaining here. Why? Because tomorrow, if this production server is down unexpectedly due to any reason, immediately remember applications or users can continue their work with the standby server. Okay. That is like what is the purpose of here high availability feature. See, by using these concepts here, log shipping, mirroring, always on, we are maintaining same copy of database in another server, same copy of database. But today, remember, like most of the clients, with most of the clients, we are preferring here always on. We are preferring always on AO. Okay, so these are some old concepts. So log shipping was introduced at the beginning in 1995 or something. After that, said Microsoft has come up with mirroring with the 2005 version. Now from SQL Server 2012 onwards here, now we have always on. Always on means what? Always database is on. Means always database is on. Always database is online. Either in primary or secondary, database is online. That is called here always on. Database is online always. Right, right. This is like yeah. But what are the major differences are there between these high availability features? We'll discuss here briefly. See, all the features purpose is same to maintain what as it is copy of database in different server. As it is copy of database in what different server. Purpose is same. Okay. Yes, but every feature has their own advantages, their own limitations. But most of the times, remember, like today we are preferring with what? Always on here. We are preferring always on today, right? So very few organizations are there who are continuing with mirroring. Very less today we can't see log shipping today, very old concept. So many limitations are there with log shipping. That's why remember today we have to work with always on. That's why in interview also they will ask us here more questions on always on. Okay, always on availability feature. Check here what are the major differences are there. Just what is what we'll see. Later we'll see practically in detail. Okay, in case of log shipping, remember log shipping. Logs are nothing but remember changes. Shipping means what? Transferring. Changes we are transferring. Check here in case of log shipping. Whenever the changes are made in primary, they are applied to secondary. But remember, changes are not applied immediately. Check here, there is no immediate sync here in log shipping. No immediate sync. Means what? Let's say changes are made at 8 p.m. AST, for example. Those changes are applied to secondary or standby after 8:30. Means what? Delay is there here. Delay is there. 15 or half an hour delay is there. Immediately changes are not applied to secondary. In the same way, tomorrow suppose if primary is down due to any reason, unexpectedly, primary is down. Remember, immediately secondary will not become primary. Manually, we have to bring it online. Means what? No automatic failover. Failover means remember, whenever primary fail, immediately secondary will become primary. Automatic failover means what? Whenever primary goes down, secondary will become primary. But remember here, in case of log shipping, remember this automatic failover option is not there. Okay. So means what? Tomorrow primary goes down. Immediately we have to start working with the secondary. Manually we have to bring secondary online. Manually we have to bring the secondary database online. That is like in case of log shipping. That's why to overcome these limitations of log shipping, in 2005 version, Microsoft has come up with mirroring. See here. Okay, DB mirroring. In case of DB mirroring, here like yeah, immediate sync is there. See, name itself is saying mirror, right? Mirror means what? As it is copy of database is maintained. Means whenever the changes are made in principle, immediately those changes are applied to mirror immediately. Okay, there is no delay. There is no delay. Immediately changes are applied to secondary. Mirror is nothing but remember secondary, for example. Whereas like tomorrow, if primary database is down, primary server is down, automatically remember secondary will become primary automatically. Okay, automatically secondary will become what? Primary. Means what? As a DBA, no need to bring the database online manually. Immediately secondary will become primary. Later we can check what is the reason why the failure happened, why the primary is down. We can troubleshoot the problem. That's remember second major benefit is there, automatic failover is there. Clear, right? For all people, if any confusion is there, please feel free to type in the chat panel. If any simple confusion is there. Yeah, just remember what is what we are discussing, so that just you will get some idea what are the different high availability features are there in SQL Server, what is the major difference is there. Okay, Why today clients are preferring always on? In the same way, say like mirroring has again some limitations today. To overcome the limitations of mirroring, again Microsoft has come up with AO, always on. AOs here. Basically, remember like this. Yeah, we'll see. Clustering is to maintain the services, Benjamin. Here, like these three are to maintain as it is copy of DB. These are DB level hierarchy features. Clustering is instance level. One more is the replication, that is object level. Like this, different levels are there. We'll discuss that. Okay, right. Check here in case of mirroring. Remember, mirroring is one-to-one feature. Means what? One primary or one principal database can have maximum one mirror, one-to-one here. Okay, it is not one-to-many feature. It is one-to-one feature. But remember, if that's why Microsoft has come up with always on here. Like this is just, remember, this is mirroring only with extra features here. Okay, mirroring with extra features is always on. Okay, mirroring with extra features is what? Always on. Okay, right. So that is the reason, remember, today we are preferring always on. Okay, instead of mirroring, we are going with always on. We are implementing always on. Just remember, in most of the organizations, remember, today we have to work with always on. We need to work with always on. Almost all compulsory for us. 1 second, I will close the door. Right. So there is like what is that's remember, like mirroring with additional features. Just mirroring with additional features is what? Always on. So one-to-many feature as well as some other benefits are there, other advantages are there with always on. We'll discuss later. Okay, now we'll get confusion. Just remember, these are the three major high availability features are there as part of SQL Server to maintain as it is copy of database to database copy. In the same way, we have some server level availability features are there, clustering. Object level availability features are there, replication. Okay, some other features. We'll discuss those features later. Okay, confusion may be there. That's why I'm not going to discuss those things now. Later we'll discuss in detail. Right, right. These are like different high availability features are there as part of SQL Server. In the same way, like sometimes here we have to go with upgradations. Means we need to upgrade SQL servers here from lower version to higher version. Okay, suppose let's say my client is using 2012 version, very old version. Now they have decided that we'll upgrade to what? 2017 or 2019. Just remember, our latest version is there, 2019. Okay, right. Our latest version is there, 2019. 2022. Our coming version is what? 2022 means 2022. 2022. Okay, so still yeah, Microsoft is working on it, so maybe they'll make it available after 6 months or after the next year. Okay, 2022 coming version, latest version. But right now we have 2019 is our latest version currently, 2019 version. Right. These are like various activities are there which we need to work with here regularly in the production environment. Okay, that's why we have to understand indirectly monitoring and troubleshooting. Okay, monitoring and troubleshooting is our regular job as a DBA. Monitoring and troubleshooting is our regular jobs here as a DBA. Okay, right. That's remember for troubleshooting the issues. We need some in-depth knowledge is required for troubleshooting the issues. Plus, uh, we need to understand exactly which server is for what purpose. Okay, that's why sometimes like some type of troubleshooting steps we can do. It depends on client to client, depends on your environment. 90% troubleshooting is same, but 10% troubleshooting, 10 to 20% troubleshooting steps may be change, may be different, depends on environment to environment. Okay, right. Okay, yeah, just see, this is what we have seen. What is DBA? What are the major activities we are going to work with as part of SQL Server DBA? Right. Let's say we'll start with the SQL Server. Already we know SQL Server is what one of a RDBMS product developed by Microsoft, right? Yes. Today's here in the market we have various RDBMS products are available, right? So many RDBMS products are available today in the market. But remember, like this SQL Server is one of a powerful RDBMS products here. Yeah, which is there in the market. Okay. Yes. Okay. So that's remember like today most of the clients are preferring SQL Server. Why? Because remember its cost is very less. Its cost is very less here. Okay. In the same way, yeah, it's we have so many options are there. On premises option is it means we can create a local data center. We can deploy SQL Server in local data center, as well as remember like we know that already Microsoft has Microsoft they have like their own uh, cloud data centers today, right? They have their cloud computing data centers today, which is called Microsoft Azure, right? So that is here another reason why most of the companies are preferring SQL Server today. Cost is very less, as well as we have both the options are there. On premises option is it means we can deploy SQL Server in local data center, as well as we have options are there cloud data centers, both the options. Right. This is here like various definitions are there for SQL Server. Already we know SQL Server is what one of a RDBMS product developed by Microsoft. So actually, sir, it was introduced in the year 1989. Okay, almost all 30 years back. So we have different versions are there, like from version number 1.0 onwards. But today, currently, we have 2019 or 15.0 version is our today's latest version. 2019 version, which is also we are calling it as 15.0. Before here we have 2017 version, which is a 14.0 version. Like this, different versions are available for us. Different versions here, like various versions. And generally here, like how we can connect and work with SQL Server. Generally, remember SQL Server may be there in the same laptop. Suppose let's say this is your machine laptop. In that machine, you can install SQL Server, or we can say SQL Engine, SQL Engine, or Database Engine, or Database Server. Okay, all these are same. Okay, suppose let's say this is my SQL Server. For example, let's say in in my laptop, remember, like I have installed SQL Server or SQL Engine, for example. Okay, so now remember SQL Engine is there here, but if want to submit the commands to SQL Engine, right? Server is there here, but how we can submit the command? So that's why we are using one tool called SSMS here. SQL Server Management Studio. SQL Server Management Studio. By using this tool, we can submit the command to SQL Engine. We'll get the result back. Okay, right. So just remember this SQL Engine may be there in same laptop while practicing, but in real time, remember in our DBS laptop, we don't have SQL Engine. Means this is in case of what personal practice purpose, but in real time here this is my server is a production server or development server or something here. This is my production server is it. In that production server we have SQL Engine. Okay, so here we have SQL Engine or our SQL server or database server, any name we can say SQL Engine. So now remember SSMS also we are installing actually in production server. SSMS is also there, for example. But remember, like as a let's say this is my DBS machine. Means company has provided laptop to work from home, right? DBS machine compulsory is here. We have to work actually. DBS machine. See, this is my production server, which is there in UK or US or Australia, wherever SQL Engine is there. SQL Server is installed. But remember, this is my DBS machine through which I will connect and work with. Here, see, in DBS machine, only we are installing here SSMS. SSMS here. SQL Server Management Studio. Just I will open this SSMS. I will connect to the server. I will start troubleshooting. If any problem is there, I will open SSMS. Through SSMS, I will connect to our SQL engine or SQL Server. Then I can start working through this tool. Understood, right? Yeah, in personal laptop, you can install both. You can start practicing. But in case of real-time environment, so engine is not there in our DBS laptop or DBS machine. So SQL engine or SQL server is there somewhere in the network. Just through, I will open SSMS here. I will connect and work with SQL server through SSMS. Okay, right. Check here. So I will show you how to install SSMS, how the connectivity is happening, all those things we'll see. Just check here. I will go with SS. I will see once we type SSMS already have installed, but I will show you in the tomorrow's class. Okay, next class. Yeah, open this one, Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, okay. Check here. I will connect to the server, any one of my server. Connected successfully. Check here. This is your FRRIT is my system name or laptop name. Slash SBI loans is my SQL name, SQL server name. SQL Server 15.0 version is there, sir. 2019 version. Okay. 15.0 version is what? 2019 version. This is my login name. Here see we can see the databases. Check here we can work with commands also here. See graphically we can perform the activities here directly in SQL servers here. If you want to create logins, create databases, simple steps are there. As well as remember we can work with the commands also. Just right click on server name, new query. See here by using here new query we can connect and work with SQL server. Check here. Here we can type the command select @ version. Means I want to check right now I am working with which version server. Always remember after typing the command, select the command and execute. See here. Okay, it is saying Microsoft SQL Server 2019. Okay, Microsoft SQL Server 2019. RTM is there, we'll see that later. So there is like we can check set simple commands. Remember like this 1-2 lines of commands. Remember we have to remember 1 line 2 lines commands we have to remember. But if lengthy commands are there already have discussed, no need to remember. I will share you this scripts folder. Okay, you can go through this. Yeah, you can use this script folder. Okay, to perform the various activities. See, like if you want to see mirroring status, just here copy paste this command and run. Like this here, if you want to see memory usage, so which application is using how much memory, just here copy paste and run. Sometimes like we have to just change the server name, some here some database name, so we have to change sometimes. That is like yeah, we can check here. See like that's why simple commands we have to remember, lengthy commands no need to by heart. In the same way, check it, select @ server name. Right now we are working with which server? We can check what is the server name. See here, same thing what we have seen here, same server name it is showing. Yes, yes. That is like how we are connecting and working with SQL Server by using SSMS. SSMS SQL Server Management Studio. It is clear, right? While practicing in your personal laptop, both will install in the same laptop, but in real time, yeah, only in our laptop in DBS machine only we have tool is there SSMS, but our SQL engine or SQL server and databases are there in production server somewhere at the client location. These two diagrams are cleared. Karthik, Prakash, it is clear or any confusion is there? I will show you where is the database engine, how to install both. That's why tomorrow to start practicing, first we'll install SQL engine as a step 1. Second one here we'll install SSMS as step 2. First one will install SQL engine. Second one will install what? SSMS. Thank you, Karthik. Any confusion is there to any people? Any? Yeah, Santosh, Surekha, it is clear. Suresh, Benjamin, it should be clear, right? But I will show you in tomorrow's class how to install engine, how to install SSMS. Then you can start practice. Okay. Please type if any questions are there, if any confusion is there. Okay. Otherwise, just type it is clear or clear something. So that I can understand who is following, who is not following. That's why any simple doubt is there, immediately we have to ask. Okay. No need to worry. I can repeat. I can same question even you ask 5 times also I will answer. I will not say that already I have answered last time. But remember, like we have to be very active actually. Means whatever the concepts I am discussing, we have to listen very carefully. If anything confusion is there, immediately we have to ask, just to avoid the unnecessary time wasting process. Okay, means like yes. So okay. There is just what is SQL Server, like various versions are there as part of SQL Server. Now question is there, maybe you will have confusion, like today 2019 is there, right, in the market. So we are going to work only with 2019 or we are working with different versions, right? One question will be there. Okay, so that's what remember, like we are going to work with different versions. Okay, 2019 is release. It's not meaning that we are going to work only with 2019. Okay, we are not going to work with what? 2019. Okay, so we have to work with old versions also. Okay, so that's why in our organization, with our client, we have 2014, some servers, even some are there 2012, maybe very less. But we have more 2016, 17, 19. We have more 2016, 2019. Now, what are the latest implementations are there? Latest, whenever we are building the latest servers, we are preferring 2019. Okay, we'll ask our application owner that will go with what? 2019 version. Okay, right. But just what I am saying, tomorrow once we enter in the organization, we have to work with old versions also. Only features difference is there. Understood, right? Only features difference is there. Working is same. By using same SSMS tool, will connect and work with SQL Server. Okay, right. Generally, say like SQL Server supports. If somebody is working already with Oracle, let me know. I will share you the PPT where we have difference between Oracle and SQL Server. Means what is there in Oracle, what are the processes or what features are there in Oracle, what features are there uh, in SQL Server. Okay, those yeah, we can like we have like different just I will share you the PPT difference PPT. Okay, right, you can understand easily. Right, right, okay. Okay. Yeah, generally here SQL Server supports two types of working. SQL Server supports here SQL, okay, which is a structured query language. Structured query language, okay, SQL. So generally remember every RDBMS supports what SQL commands, right? Like select, update, delete, SQL commands, which is a this is a non-procedural language. Means what it doesn't supports programming features. Okay, only commands are there with us. But generally remember today in every database we have data plus a set of programs. Data plus a set of programs also to implement the business logic like stored procedures, functions, triggers. Okay, so here in SQL Server we have programming language is there T-SQL, transact structured query language here T-SQL, which is a procedural language to write what programs like stored procedures, functions, triggers, some programs here. Our developers team will write once again, don't get any confusion. Here also programming is there, but this is done by our developers team. Okay, so means database developers programming. Right, right, right. Okay, okay. Yeah. So then check it like this. You see, just what is what we have seen, as well as last. We'll see one last point. We'll conclude the session. SQL Server supports here two types of working environments. Two types of working environments are there in SQL Server. One is a standalone environment, is it where we are maintaining single production server. Single production server, one or more standby servers. Okay, whereas cluster environment is there here. Cluster is nothing but remember a group of servers which are connected to each other, which are working as a single server in the network. Cluster is nothing but what? Group of servers. Okay. Right. So we'll see that some more detailed information we'll discuss about this, how to check. Just now, for example, I have connected to one of my server. I want to see whether it is a cluster or not. Just here, right click properties, is clustered, false it is say, means it is not a cluster environment. We have single production server is there. In cluster, remember, we have group of servers like customer care department is there, right? 10 people are sitting. If call is there, anyone will handle that call, right? Same thing, remember here also we can have cluster actually, which is a group of servers. Generally say like we can check whether whether it is a standalone or not. Whether it is a standalone or clusters here false. Zero means false. It is a standalone environment. It is not cluster environment. Okay, yeah. Okay, now it should be okay, right? Correct. I think it is dropping the connectivity. We'll see. I will try to clear it. Okay, these are like just what we have discussed here, like as part of SQL Server. Once again, I will conclude the session here. We'll continue again tomorrow. Just again, we have seen what we have discussed in the previous class. Just we have started with SQL Server. Main points are there. We have different versions are there. SQL Server supports SQL and T-SQL. We have two types of working environments are there. To connect and work with SQL Server, we have discussed that we are using one tool called SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, yes. Let's say we'll conclude the session here. We'll continue again tomorrow. Okay, thank you.